Hello, my lovies! Welcome back to my channel. Hello, my lovies! Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to part dose of the Q&A. I know you guys are dying for that number one answer to that question y'all bugging me for. But we gonna get to it in this video. I know you're probably like, bitch, I thought it was gonna be in the last video. But if you missed part 8 to my Q&A, part 1 to my Q&A, not part 8. I will leave it down in the description below. Make sure you check it out before you get to part 2. So, let's jump straight into it. Okay? Chelsea.Lugo said, what country are you from? This is another big question I get. And I've gotten it a couple of times. And I definitely answered this in the first Q&A I ever did, which I'll link that down in the description below as well. But I am Italian, Argentinian, and Peruvian. So your girl's a mutt. So yes, that is where I am from. I get asked all the time. People usually think I'm Puerto Rican, but I don't see that at all. I don't know. What else? Okay. Joe Aubrey Main said, what are you dreaming for? Honestly, I'm dreaming of buying my house, man. Like, that is currently what I'm manifesting. That is what I'm working on. That is what I'm putting out into the universe. I know I'm definitely going to be blessed with it. But your girl's got to grind a little more, you know what I'm saying? But it will come all in due time. I always leave it up to God's hands. Whenever it's my time, it's my time. And that is it. Okay. Nena Lowe said, can you talk about the pros and cons of working from home? Not doing YouTube, but your full-time job. I've been thinking about it, but I'm scared. Girl, don't do it! No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. There are definitely pros and cons, like everything in life. The pros to working from home, for those of you that don't know, yes, I do also, I don't do just YouTube, okay? I love doing YouTube, but I also have 2 full-time jobs. Your girl does many things, man. So, the pros would be, no. Let's start with the cons. The cons are, it's hard for you to separate the two Meaning, once you bring your work home with you, it's hard for you to separate what time are you working and what time is like for your house stuff. Meaning, you know, what time is meant for you to relax, what time is meant for you to stop working, what time is meant for you to cook, what time is meant for you to clean. Because when you work from home, it's so tempting to be like, I could work, and at the same time I could cook, and at the same time I could do laundry and clean, which you can sometimes, but sometimes it's so overwhelming because when you're busy doing that stuff, you can't really get your work stuff done. Excusez-moi. So you kind of extend your time working, if that makes sense. So let's say your work schedule is 8 to 4, right? You could be like, oh my God, let me, at 12 o'clock, let me go put dinner on the stove, and let me throw in a load of laundry while I'm home and all this shit, right? But in that time that you're doing all that, your emails and shit don't stop coming. So that work builds up, right? And then you go back, let's say you go back to pay attention to your computer at 1, and you got 20 emails in that 1 hour that you were cooking and cleaning. Then instead of you finishing at 4, you know, you feel, this is not everyone, but majority of people, you feel like you're obligated to stay till 5 because technically you were doing stuff that you weren't supposed to be doing on company time. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little hard to adjust to in the beginning. So that's a con. And then also, another con is that you feel like you need to really prove that you're working, because you don't want people to just think you're home fucking sitting and watching TV or sleeping, right? But so you feel like you gotta overcompensate, which shouldn't be the case, because as long as you're doing your job, that's all that freaking matters. But sometimes I think it's like a subconscious thing. You feel like you need to make sure you're proving that you're just working. But those are really the only 2 cons. The pros, honestly, to me, they outweigh it. Like for me, I don't have to travel. And, you know, before working from home, I had to travel all the way to Jersey. So from Queens to Jersey, that was like traveling alone 2.5 hours at least in just traveling a day. So my days would be like, it would start, I would wake up at 5 a.m. and then by the time I got home and everything filmed, ate dinner, whatever the case may be, and I was back in bed, it wasn't till like 10:30 of like nonstop, just do like going. So that's a pro, the fact that I don't have to travel anymore. I could just wake up, shower, drink my coffee, and get on the computer and work. And you feel like you have more time, like more time to do stuff, more time to, no one's really bothering you as much, you know? Like, when you work in office, it's easy for anyone to go to your office or go to your desk, you know? When I used to work in the office, everyone would come into my office, like if it was the fucking hotspot or something. I felt like I could never get work done. So it is a pro that nobody freaking bothers me at home. But yeah, honestly, girl, I say do it, you know, only if you could handle like not getting distracted. If you gonna get tempted when your friends call you and say to come to the beach, then that could be a problem. Kenneth Mukbangs. Oh, my boo. Hey, boo. said, what made you want to start a mukbang channel? What does your mom or family think of it? Who do you watch? And lastly, who inspired you to start an eating channel? You got questions, boo. So what made me start a mukbang channel? I always used to watch mukbangs. Like, I started seeing B Love's seafood boils pop up on my IG, on my Discover page, and I was like, what are these videos? So I clicked on them, and I didn't know what mukbangs was, and then I was like, this lady's really just eating on camera. So I'm like, okay. And then, you know when you watch something and it's like your phone remembers it, and it kept like popping up her video. So I finally found her on YouTube, and I was watching her, and it was so soothing. And it got to a point where I didn't watch anyone else. I didn't watch nothing else, like no TV, I would just watch YouTube. And then I started watching like Kim Tai, you know, from the suggested videos and everything. And I just started watching all these people just eat. And it was so relaxing. And I was like, oh. I'm like, okay. I'm a good chef. And then, because of that, that leads up to who inspired me. So, you know, obviously watching them, I was like, oh, okay. You know, these people got balls to sit on camera and eat and not worry about what the comments say, because there be fucking trolls in the comments, okay? And I was like, wow, they got cojones, you know? Like, they don't give a fuck. I'm like, alright, cool. And then my older sister was like, you know what? Just do it. Just start it. I had told her I was thinking about it, but I'm like, oh, you know how I am, you know? I be mass sensitive sometimes, you know? And I was like, I'm scared. She's like, listen, at the end of the day, fuck it, who cares? Let people say whatever the hell they want to say. And do you. Do what makes you happy. Give it a try. The worst you could do is film a couple of videos and then stop doing it if you don't like it. I'm like, you're right. You're right. And that's how we are here today. And then, what does your mom or family think of it? Honestly, when I first started, my mom didn't really understand it. She was like, what do you mean you're gonna sit and eat on camera? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's called mukbang. She was like, mukbang? She goes, Christina, are you crazy? Are you crazy? And I'm like, no, Mom. Like, everyone's doing it. It's on YouTube, you know. And I really love watching them, so why not give it a try, you know? She wasn't really, like, against it. But she was just kind of like, I don't get it. So, it took her a little while to jump on board, but she finally did, you know. And then the rest of my family, my sister, like I said, she was the one that convinced me. My older sister, she was the one that convinced me to start it. My little sister was just like, oh my god, you're gonna be YouTube famous. And I'm like, I'm really not gonna be YouTube famous, you know. But yeah, I want to say overall, my family was supportive. So nobody got, you know, it's not like anybody was against it, you know what I'm saying? And even if they were against it, I wouldn't care. Because at the end of the day, it's my life, my decisions. You know, it's not like I'm asking them to pay for anything. So, you know, it is what it is. Adriana Adi said, "Hey, boo. Hey, beautiful. Whom do you live with? You never mention your father. If you leave the house, who is staying with mom? Have you ever suffered from any kind of disorder like post-traumas, eating disorders, anxieties, depression of any other? If yes, how do you cope with it? Love you." Love you too. I live with my mother and my little sister. So obviously when I move out, my little sister will stay with my mom. So she's not alone, thank God. I never mentioned my dad because it's not like I don't have one. I do have one, and I've mentioned him a couple of times. I just don't live with him. My parents are divorced. They divorced when I was 3. My parents still get along to this day. They've co-parented very well. I do see my dad. He doesn't live that far from me. I think I've mentioned this before. He doesn't live that far from me. He actually just lives like a couple of blocks away. I do see him. I speak to him. Yeah, my dad was very, my dad was supportive too, but my dad doesn't know how to use like the internet and stuff. So it's not like my dad still has a flip phone. So it's not like he watches me on YouTube or anything. I think maybe he's seen my videos through maybe my sister or something. But yeah, he knows I do this too. And yeah, he tells me all the time, like, oh, I'm going to watch you. I'm going to tell my friends to watch you, whatever. So that's my dad. And yes, I actually do suffer from anxiety. I get high anxiety, when I feel like it's usually happens when I'm not in control of a situation, when I feel like there's nothing I could do. So perfect example, if somebody else is driving my car, I get major anxiety because I feel like I'm not in control. I get it in situations when I'm usually stressed about stuff, I have like anxiety attacks. So if there's a lot going on in my life at once, I will have like a meltdown. I'll feel like I can't breathe. I feel like the walls are closing in. I start going nuts. I will like start panicking. And yeah, so sometimes they could get really bad. And I noticed that as I got older, they got worse. So that's not good. But I have learned to control them a little better. So I've learned to breathe. I know it sounds like really so like, bitch, really? That's what you're gonna tell us? Breathe. But honestly, it works. So whenever you feel like you don't think you can handle a situation, or you feel like you're gonna freaking lose it, what I usually do is, one, I walk away from everything and everyone. So I basically tell people, like, give me a couple of minutes, let me get myself together, and I'll get back to you. But just because when someone approaches me while I'm having an anxiety attack and they're like, oh my god, they only make me freak out more. And if they're telling me like, oh my god, drink some water, I feel like I can't focus. Like I can't focus on my thoughts. So the first thing I tell people is, give me a second, let me get myself together, and then I could talk to you. So I usually go into another room, go outside, whatever the case may be. I start breathing. So I literally just go, and I do it out loud, because if I do it like by myself, it doesn't do shit for me because I can't catch my breath. So I usually do that. And then I just close my eyes and I literally just start talking, like whatever it comes to my head. Like, I talk the situation out to myself and I'm like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, Christina. You could do it. Relax, take 2 steps back, think about it, and it'll be okay. Like, this is not the end of the world. There are worse things out there. You know, you'll be okay. So that's how I deal with it. I do not believe in medication. That's just not my preference, honestly. There's nothing against it. If medication works for you, then by all means, please do it. I just think doctors are very quick to prescribe to you something. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. I believe in... My anxiety came from probably me overthinking shit and me creating scenarios in my head that could be a lot worse. So, than it actually is. So, that's just me. But if medication works for you, then by all means, please take it. You know, if it works, whatever works for you. That's all I say. But yeah, so things are... There honestly are disorders out there. I truly believe it. You know, if you guys do have a disorder and you guys want to talk to anyone, please feel free to reach out to me. But I know a couple of you actually have reached out to me and you say you guys have, you know, you guys suffer from depression, you guys suffer from, you know, like eating disorders, and you guys message me and tell me that, oh, you know, like watching your videos helps me. And, you know, like, if you guys ever need someone to talk to, please feel free to reach out to me. I promise you, there's no judgment here because your girl ain't perfect. Okay. So, yeah, that's that. What else? Lizette Clark said, hey, gorgeous. Hey, boo. Would you ever do a mukbang with a subby? I've been asked this a couple of times. Yes, I would do a video with a subscriber. It just has to be right. Like, I would prefer not to do it in my house. You know, there's just certain security stuff, you know, that security measures that I would have to take just because I am a very private person as it is. So, you know, we would probably do a mukbang like outside, you know, like City Island would be a bomb ass place to do a mukbang. But yeah, I'm definitely open to do a mukbang with a subscriber. I like, you know, I think you guys are family, so why not? Okay, let's get down to the number one question you all have been waiting for. Wait, let me make sure I got all that. I got majority of the questions anyways. The number one question everyone has been asking, and the first one to ask me was my girl Kimberly Avella. She said, hey girl, holla from the ATL. What's your love life looking like? This had to be the number one question that I got multiple times. Y'all really want to know what my love life is looking like right now. Your girl is currently engaged. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine. No, I'm not engaged. No, your girl is currently in some entanglements. Let's just say no. We're not gonna pull a Jada. I'm dating. I am dating. Let's just say there's one person that has my attention more than the others. So yeah, I guess that's why I've been a little preoccupied, you know. I am dating. I am seeing where it's going to lead to. I don't like speaking on it too much just because I'm not trying to jinx it. And I know as soon as I tell you guys that I'm in a relationship, you're going to start asking me 1,000,001 questions. And you're going to want him to come on here. And I ain't ready for that. So, yeah, it's just a little harder to date nowadays. But you know, it's all in due time. I am out there. I am talking. I am mingling. Um, I'm being more open-minded. I'm not being so cutthroat. And honestly, I'm just going with the flow. Like, whatever is meant for me, it is meant for me. And, you know, only God knows what he has in store for me. So, you know, hopefully I won't have to be dating for long. And I could introduce you guys to him soon. So, yeah. We're going to leave it at that. All right, my lovies. It's been real. I hope I got majority of your guys' questions. I tried to answer everyone's. If I didn't answer yours, I am so sorry. I promise we will keep doing these Q&As. And yeah, until next time, remember, let's give this video 2 big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to join the fam bam. And until next time, remember, let's spread positive vibes, good laughs, and yummy eats. Peace.